painted in absolutes, black and white, no room for gray. Angry when I questioned, distant when I prayed. You punish the different, you love the obedient. And I spent 20 years trying to be everything you demanded of me. But somewhere between the rules and the shame, somewhere between the fear and the blame, I started to see that the God I was taught wasn't Jesus, wasn't love, wasn't what I thought. The God I thought I knew was never really you. The God I'm learning now is teaching me how to be free, to be honest, to be me, to be loved just as I am. You punish the different, you love the obedient. And I spent 20 years trying to be everything you demanded of me. But somewhere between the rules and the shame, somewhere between the fear and the blame, I started to see that the God I was taught wasn't Jesus, wasn't love, wasn't what I thought. They said you hated certain people, they said you couldn't love like that. They said surrender meant silence, they said faith meant don't ask. So I buried my questions, I ignored all the doubt. I performed for the pews while I was dying inside out. And I realize now that I built you from their fears, their prejudice, their control. I made you a weapon, a gatekeeper, when really you were calling me whole. And it's breaking, it's all breaking down, the tower that I built on shaky ground. And I don't know what I believe anymore, but I know it's not what it was before. The God I thought I knew was falling apart, the God I was taught to fear, the God of the shame, the God of the pain, the God who wasn't really there. And it breaks my heart to see it crumble, but it breaks my heart more to believe that I might have been chasing a lie my whole life, and that's the hardest thing to grieve. So I had to deconstruct everything, brick by brick, piece by piece. Every doctrine, every certainty, every promise that felt like peace. And the crater left behind was so big I didn't know how to stand. I didn't know who I was without the God that I've been programmed to understand. But in the ruins something happened. A quiet voice underneath said maybe I'm still here, not like they told you I'd be. And it's terrifying, this deconstructing, building faith with shaky hands. But I'm learning that honest doubt is stronger than false certainty. And maybe that's where you've been waiting. The God I thought I knew had to die, the God of control and fear. But in the breaking, in the doubt, in the questioning, you became so much more clear. And yeah, it broke my heart to let you go, the God that was never real. But losing that false God was the only way to find something I could actually feel. Rebuilding is slower than breaking. Trust in a God who looks nothing I don't have it figured out, even if my faith looks nothing like theirs, even if I'm walking a different road, I'm more faithful now than I ever was. In my deconstruction, in my questioning, in my doubt, because real faith doesn't fear the questions, real love doesn't punish the doubters, real grace doesn't demand perfection, and the real you I'm just now meeting. The God I thought I knew is gone, and grief and relief are the same thing. The God I'm rebuilding piece by piece looks more like love than I've ever seen, yet broke my heart to deconstruct and rebuild myself anew. But the God I'm learning to know is so much more beautiful than the God I thought I knew. Ooh, I'm deconstructing and rebuilding, I'm grieving and I'm free. I'm learning to trust a God who's nothing like what they told me, who's so much more beautiful, who's so much more true. This is the God I'm learning to know, and I'm learning to know myself too. The God I thought I knew was never really you. The God I'm learning now is teaching me how to be free, to be honest, to be me, to be loved just as I am. This is the God I'm learning to know, and I'm gonna take my time. No more rushing toward the light,